What's happening, good people? This is the part 2 to the Tease Stratocaster, the ST1-SPR. And I know, I'm sorry for calling it a Stratocaster, but that's basically what this thing looks like. In the first part, if you haven't seen that video, which will be linked down below, I'll put it up here or whatever, it was my best theatrical performance ever. You should really check that out. But one of the issues was that the mic was not working or wasn't connected right to the audio interface. So all that you heard was through the camera mic over here. And I like to take a little bit of both, mix them in so it kind of is more accurate to what you're actually hearing, where the camera mic really isn't focused really towards the amp, and you get the picture. We're gonna do a whole bunch of sound samples for you so you can see that it is basically a part 2. But I like to take this opportunity to also kind of explain the deep dives. So this could be actually linked in future videos to explain why we do all that stuff. And if that kind of bores you right now, just skip on through. There'll be chapters down below. But basically, you see me do a whole bunch of measurements on the numbers, starting with the electronics. To me, if I show you that the capacitance on, or I'm sorry, the resistance on the neck pickup is a 7.2 and you have something that's 7.2, it's gonna be similar, but you need all of the other numbers, and it's gonna get you kind of in the ballpark.
You don't know the size of the gauge or wire that they're using and things like that.
Again, you do you. I'm just putting it out there that this measures this much. Especially when you're measuring the whole circuit itself, you have all the pots and you have the capacitor that's inside for the tone. So needless to say, it's gonna be off a little bit, and depending on your cable, all that stuff. But to me, it's gonna give you the general idea. So when I do that, and then I show you the inductance, they say, I'm just regurgitating what pickup makers say, the higher the inductance, the warmer it's gonna sound, and the lower the capacitance, the more highs that come through. So if you take these measurements that I give you, then it could give you that general idea. And that's why I do it. This is the ST1-SPR by Tease Guitars. Available in various colors. Act now and we'll throw in a quality gig bag for you. Then we measure all the, the typical stuff that you want to know, the neck width, depth, all that stuff, fret, wire thickness and depth, all that good stuff. But one of the major things I actually wanted to address too was, if you've seen in the video where we do all the rocking with the fret rocker on it and we show you little marks, I was trying to think of colors that would work well. Green, yellow, red was going to be my choice. But I guess some people said that the green and the yellow looked a little too similar. But first of all, the green was actually just the tiniest little bit of movement, something that I wouldn't even touch at all. And the reason why I did that was because a lot of times when you shoot a video and someone says,
"There's no way this thing can be spot on, perfect all the time."
So I'm showing you the tiniest little bit of movement. Wouldn't have touched them at all. But also, I don't want you to come and get one of these things and then be like,
"Well, this thing was rocking all over the fretboard."
So then when we got down towards the bottom over here, I think there was like 2 yellow spots. And those were things that if they were bothersome enough, I would actually address. And if there was a lot of them, probably would have. But I left that in there too, also because I show you a before and an after. And if you see in the middle, I take a dowel and I smack with a little hammer on all the frets and kind of seat them back in. Some people go right to the fret with the hammer itself. That's up to them. But after, there were no yellow spots. So there would have been absolutely nothing I would have done to this fretboard. That does 2 things. I'm gonna have to take a daily dose of my shellaxative for this one. It shows you that it needs to be seated, but it also helps you and also the company from not having to deal with a back and forth of you saying that this guitar is garbage, the frets weren't addressed, it needs all this work, and it could save you time and the effort of actually having to send a guitar back and waiting for something, because you could just give it a little tap yourself. You'd be amazed at the little things that people actually return guitars for that would not bother That's about it for all my rambling on all the specs and things like that. So hopefully that helps you out and explains why we do it. And now we'll get to the playing part over here. also want to take the opportunity to tell you guys that I'm probably going to take these pickups out and put them in my pink Tease and put some humbuckers in this thing. And it's not because I don't like these pickups. It's actually because I love these pickups. But this finish right here to me just screams dual humbucker. And because of the swimming pool route that is in here, you can fit anything that you want to do to this guitar. You could do 3 humbuckers if you want to, but so if you see this in the future and it's missing these pickups, it's because they're just so dang good that I want to put them in another guitar. You've all been a fantastic audience, and as always, stay tuned. I know it's not the complete output because you need some fancy little technical, pulse thing, jigabobber or whatever to hook up to this thing, and